So you want to become a better builder, huh? You want to move past that classic wooden box and make something that will impress all of your friends. I might be able to help you with that. There are many different tips and tricks that professional builders use to make their builds the best they can be, and today I'm going to show you a couple of them. By the end of this video, if you're already a decent builder, you'll become a much better one, and if you're not a decent builder, well, I have another video for you. So what I'll be talking about today is something called the box or cube method. I'll talk about using different blocks, we'll talk about gradients, we'll talk about something that most builders just completely overlook. And also, I would like to talk about some detail for smaller builds as well. Starting with the box or cube method, this is a method that builders use to make their builds have stronger foundations without even really thinking about them. What you do is you start off with just a simple box like this, then intersect it with another box like this, or perhaps a third box like that. Break apart the middle, and you have the shape of your house. This is what you can work with. And if you want to determine the height of your house right away, you can also turn those boxes into cubes, or cuboids, whatever. With that, you can make your house out of that shape. If you look down from above, you'll see that these houses have the exact same shape because I made this house on the right out of the shape on the left. The smaller your build is, the more detailed it should be, because you should probably be making up for the lack of size, you know what I'm saying? For example, just something simple like this. You have some mangrove wood over a campfire, and it looks like you're roasting meat over a flame. Simple little flower pots like this made out of trapdoors. Just cute little rows of bushes, and if you want, you can even use dead coral to represent the dead bushes. And on the inside, there are many different block types that you can use to make your build look more realistic. We have chiseled bookshelves now, but when I made this world, you could use looms as the look of empty bookshelves. Turtle eggs sort of look like cups or flower pots. You can use wool and snow to make a carpet that looks like it's not level. You can put food in an item frame like this, and then use a birch pressure plate to make it look like a table or plate. You can put campfires underneath of smokers to make it look like there's actually smoke coming out of it. And trapdoors are literally the best thing ever. While getting used to using all these blocks in your build can take some time, I do recommend practicing this. Knowing your blocks is essential. You can combine so many different blocks together, and that's what we're gonna get into now. Many blocks in this game are completely avoided by most players because they claim they look bad, but that's only because you don't know how to use them yet. For example, look at this wall. This looks pretty decent, right? Did you notice the granite? People hate that block, but it looks good here. Starting off with mud on the bottom, you got some dripstone, polished granite, regular granite, and that's all it really needs, along with a siding of mangrove wood, and perhaps some dark oak wood on the bottom. Also, there are different types of textures that you can replace oak with. For example, this is regular oak, but this texture here is actually a beehive, and you can change its direction. Similarly here, you're using deep slate mixed with mud, because it actually goes really well together. Similarly for the oak, you can also use the bottom side of a barrel to represent a different type of spruce texture. Another one is perhaps using copper as your roof. Many people don't really find a use for copper, but it does make a very nice looking roof. Learning how to use those blocks that people don't usually like as much, like for example, behind my head, I use diorite in a white build. It's a great way to impress your friends and to become a better builder yourself, using those blocks that many people are scared to use because they think they look bad on their own, but they can be made to look good together. Another way to make more obscure blocks look good together is to use them in a gradient. For example, this gradient is a blue one, starting off from darker colors, moving up to lighter colors. And we see here we have a mixture of prismarine, warped wood, stripped warped wood, we have copper again, and the lighter prismarine block. Gradients in Minecraft are an interesting thing to learn, because there are a lot of them. Take a look at this wall right here. It looks pretty good already. Looks kind of bland though, right, with just stone? It doesn't take much to change that. This one, for example, starts off with the basic stone, then transitions to andesite. You have some light gray concrete powder, light wool, once again, using diorite, white concrete powder, and white wool, birch wood, and quartz. Just look at these two things side by side. Which one looks better to you? Giving you a few more examples of some gradients here, check out this roof. It uses very obscure blocks like honey, for example. Like, who would think to use honey on a roof? But it looks good. You could also probably throw in some gold blocks next to that honey if you wanted. I didn't, but it's a good idea. Here we have, once again, a white to gray gradient using calcite, polished diorite, regular diorite, andesite, and just regular stone. Here we have a dark to gray gradient using deep slate, tuff, cobble, andesite, and stone. This is the kind most commonly used by builders on Hermitcraft. And you can also go from a primary color to a shade as well. This is a red gradient going from red to gray, using granite, dripstone, tuff, andesite, and stone. If you're already a decent builder, using gradients is probably the best way to improve your builds even more. It's highly impressive if you can actually make it work. It does take some practice, but you know, you can steal these designs if you want. And now, for something that I think most builders completely overlook whenever they want to make their place. Location and lore. You have no idea how much this really matters, because location is everything for a build. If you want your build to be as realistic as possible, make sure it would actually work in real life. You want to make sure it has ports for trade, perhaps. You want to make sure it has forests for felling, perhaps an entrance into a mine shaft. You'd want it to be defendable from attacking armies. You'd want it to have arable farmland to support the needs of the people. You'd want it to have suitable amounts of fresh water. And you would actually want it to be buildable on. You'd want it to be a good place to settle down. I could have just built this anywhere, but finding a perfect location that would actually fit in perfectly with real-life lore is a great way to make your builds ultra-realistic. This town here could literally function in real life. And if you look at my coordinates, this place wasn't exactly easy to find either. I do think it's worth it that in your survival worlds, you try your best to find a location like this, because, well, it feels a lot more real. And that is the main goal with trying to make builds look better. You want that extra realism that you wouldn't have had in a different location. You want to have that real-life feel towards it. Anyways, I hope this video genuinely did help you out a bit. To me, making your builds look good is the best part about playing this block game. I do always find that it's better to be proud of your builds than to just simply play the game to get rich and to just get resources and all that. It is a personal preference, but I'm assuming you didn't click this video because you wanted to get rich. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're almost nearing 30,000 subscribers, and that would be amazing if we could hit that. If you have any questions about some of the stuff in this video or other building tips, please leave a comment down below. I will gladly answer them. Bye bye!